Well, whether you're just taking a break or making a permanent change, millions of Canadians are swearing off of alcohol, especially for this first month of the new year. Jessica Jeboult, founder of A Sober Girl's Guide, is joining us with some advice on how to tackle this challenge. Great to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. No, we're excited to talk to you.
Yeah.
So let's start off with what some of the benefits are of having, say, a sober January to start off the year.
Oh man, so many benefits. I don't even know where to begin. Definitely physical. Lots of health benefits. You know, lower your blood pressure.
Right.
Lower your risk of liver disease. Like, always a good thing.
Yes.
Also physically, like my skin. I definitely notice a glow, little weight loss.
Yes.
But I think the most important that isn't really physical, can't really see or gauge, is your mental health. So depression, anxiety, all those good things really will improve by just ditching the booze.
Right, and you speak from experience.
Absolutely.
You have dealt with depression and anxiety and addiction. What is
Yes.
your story? How did you get to being to where you are today?
Yeah, so it's an epic story.
Yeah.
I've gone through this for 10 years. You know, I was living in LA 10 years as a full-time DJ, you know, living the fast life, and I was drinking a lot and using drugs a lot. And it really caught up to me. My anxiety was out of control to the point where I couldn't go to work. So if I couldn't go to work, couldn't pay my rent. And if I couldn't pay my rent, I just quickly saw how fast, you know, your life can spiral out of control. And then I came to realize, you know, my job wasn't aligning with my values.
Right.
You know, I'm a very social person, and I quite frankly don't want to hang out with people at work. I don't want to hang out with people who drink and party, and that's all we have in common. I wanted something deeper. So that's when I really, again, it's taken me 10 years to really, I guess, value sobriety. I always thought that I would be boring, or I couldn't DJ, I wouldn't be this wild, fun party girl. And that is completely false. Like, those limiting beliefs ruined my life for 10 years, but now I am here, I am on the other side, and honestly, like, life is just beginning.
Wow, that's very powerful. And as we mentioned off the top, you're the founder of A Sober Girl's Guide.
Yes.
That started off as a blog and it's really taken off since then. What is it and how much has it grown?
Yes, it has grown so much. In just 2 years, it just goes to show you how hungry people are for knowledge and community and in this space, which is amazing. So it started off as a blog, and I was just kind of giving out like tips and tricks and really just my journey through my sobriety. And then it turned to a podcast, which is amazing, and I get to share space with other like-minded women and people in recovery who share their stories. Yes, it gets a little dark, it gets a little bit deep, but it's always positive. The end result is always positive. So it's nice to have those stories to relate. And then social media took off. I wrote a book last year. And then we're having events. We just had our first one in November.
How was that?
Unbelievable. It was so great. It was just so nice to, you know, put faces to names, because, you know, online is very two-dimensional.
Absolutely.
But to get people all in one room and just having a great time and not having to rely on alcohol to have fun.
Well, okay, speaking of not relying on alcohol, give us some practical tips. People who are looking to start this year off, this decade off, with no alcohol.
Okay, great. I got 5. I got 5 tips for you. So, number 1, definitely alternatives. Alternatives are key, because when you have a habit and I don't know how long you've been doing your habit for, but you can't just eliminate whatever you're doing. You have to replace it with a healthier alternative. So there are tons of amazing products out there on the market now. Great non-alcoholic beers, wines, even Prosecco. There's anything and everything. So alternatives, key. Number 2, definitely teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. So if it's online, reaching out to support groups, or getting your friends, family, coworkers involved, make it a challenge. Number 3 is experiences. So Vancouver is beautiful, and there's so many amazing things to do that don't involve alcohol. Just getting outside, taking a tour, being a tourist in your own city is amazing. Even going to the Dark Table, which I love. Have you been there?
I have.
It's an experience, isn't it?
It is. Yes.
It's wild.
It's a restaurant where you're completely blind. Your senses are taken away.
Yes. Okay, but then, so like, heightened.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Right.
So doing things like that. just stay out of the bar scene. Yeah, sounds easy, but you just got to look for them.
Right, keep yourself away from the triggers.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. And number 4 is let's stay focused. Focus on one thing. I guarantee you're going to feel really good, and you're probably going to be like, you know what? Let's quit sugar. Let's quit smoking.
Right.
Let's ditch your boyfriend. But stay focused on a dry January. Master that skill, and then continue with the others. I don't want to get you overwhelmed.
Right. Yes.
And last but not least, stay curious.
Okay.
You know, don't put too much pressure on yourself. This is a learning experience. Take it as an experiment. It's a good opportunity to learn something about yourself. You know, why is it so hard for you to not drink? What's triggering you?
And if you start falling off the wagon a little bit, you've got a Sober Girls Guide to check out to help guide you through it. Okay, perfect.
We're here for you.
Exactly. Jessica, it's incredible work that you're doing, particularly for women. As you mentioned, not enough resources are available for that demographic. We appreciate you coming on at the start of this new year and decade to share those tips. Thanks for coming.
Thanks so much.